Good evening, and welcome back to the Poe Museum. We often get donations to our reference library, and every once in a while, a book stands out from the rest. Like this recent edition, The Raven by George Hazleton. And it doesn't really stand out for what it says, so much as for the dark story behind its creation. And that will be the subject of tonight's installment of the Curator's Crypt. So here it is. The Raven, written in 1909 by George Hazleton. He was an actor by trade. And then in 1908, he wrote a play called The Raven. It was successful enough that he decided to make a novel version of it. This would be his first novel. So according to Hazleton's account, he needed some extra inspiration. He was having trouble writing this. So he borrowed a very special pen made of wood salvaged from Poe's original coffin. And as you know, we at the Poe Museum have a big piece of Poe's original coffin. It turns out that 26 years after Poe died, some of his admirers moved his coffin across the cemetery to a more prominent location, and along the way, the coffin fell apart. And people grabbed pieces of it. Some of them they carved and made into pin holders. So according to him, that's what he had. So he went to his office, he sat down at his desk with a big stack of paper in front of him, and he dipped his Poe coffin pen into his inkwell, picking up some black ink, and he wrote on the top of the first page, Chapter 1. But when he looked at it, instead of saying Chapter 1, it said Aronel. E-R-O-N-E-L. This didn't make any sense to him. He thought, well, maybe one of the kids got into his office and wrote that on a piece of paper. So he started with a new piece of paper, dipped his pen into black ink, and wrote Chapter 1. Once again, instead of saying that, it said Aronel. He was confused, but this time he changed paper again, and he decided he's going to dip his pen into the ink. He's going to hold his wrist, so he absolutely, positively cannot write anything else but Chapter 1. But as he started to write, instead of black ink coming out of the pen, a dark red substance started dripping, and then oozing, and then pouring, and then splattering out the tip of that pen. He decided after this, it was time to get a new pen. And eventually, he went on to finish the book with a less haunted pen. And here it is. But he was always confused about this Aronel. What's that mean? Until some friends came over and they pointed out to him that that spells Lenore backwards. So maybe he should have called this Lenore instead of the Raven. Or maybe he should have accepted the ghost help and the book would have turned out better. I mean, this is kind of a trashy novel. It's almost a biographical novel of Poe written by somebody who's never read a biography of Poe ever. It's got all sorts of stage scenes, including Sarah Helen Whitman showing up at Poe's deathbed to send him off. But it was successful enough that in 1915 it was made into a film. So maybe he didn't need the ghost help after all. But this is the story that Hazleton told to the papers. I'm not sure I believe it. Do you? Let us know down in the comments what you think. Should he have let the haunted Poe pen finish writing the book for him? Or do you think that our big old hunk of Poe's coffin has some spiritual power behind it? Let us know down in the comments what you think. And if you'd like us to help preserve precious Poe pieces, like The Raven by George Hazleton, why not support the Poe Museum or become a member at poemuseum.org. And until next time, thanks for joining us, and we'll leave you with more gratuitous footage of the Poe Museum cats doing Poe Museum cat stuff.